I worked in a very different way on this film, which was, I think I had a lot of ideas about Holocaust films, having worked on some before and having made some, and I think I'd been intimidated by those in the past. And I think that some of the emotional tension that I felt, or the responsibility that I felt towards playing these characters, was scaring me initially, and I had to let go of that, and I had to let it be guided more by who they were and who Ed wanted them to be. So it was much more of letting go this time, letting the script, the director, and the characters' lives kind of lead. Well, I gotta say, and this is hard, you know, because this sort of material is so sensitive and it's so emotional, but it was a relatively goofy crew. Daniel Craig is far more entertaining and just downright goofy than I think most people think he is, and that's a result of that Bond thing he's doing. Jamie Bell is as well, Alexa Davalos is as well, and that young lady right there, who's a remarkable actress, is as well. So we had a lot of fun, which was important because what we were doing was really quite somber, and if you spent too much time thinking about it, it could get to you. So we played in the fake snow a lot. This is my first time coming to the AFI Festival, and I was sort of shocked at how big and glamorous it is, you know. It really is this sort of substantial looking thing. So I'm very excited for the film and for the festival as well.
Well, you know, I'll go up to AFI at a drop of the hat. I teach there and lecture there, and I'm on, a lot of committees there. So, whenever they call, I jump. And the idea of actually bringing a film, to the festival was, it was a dream. And so it's just kind of great. Actually, there were 4 of us actually from the film who are alum from different times. Steve Rosenblum and I, he cut my student film at AFI. Marshall and I met there. Peter Jan Bruggen did Glory for me, and then we had an intern from AFI working on it. So it was a real sort of homegrown production. We came upon an obituary in the New York Times of a true story, and it was a story that I didn't know, and I thought that I should have known, and I was surprised that I didn't. And I felt that if I didn't know it, there were probably a lot of others who didn't as well. So I really wanted to make it more generally known. I've seen it, with industry audiences, but this is the first time the public has been invited, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Right here for me?
I don't normally do things for film, although I've done a few projects like The Red Violin several years ago, which won the Oscar for the soundtrack, and enjoy doing this sort of things. And they decided to feature the violin in this film, in Defiance. It's a very powerful film, and there's some very powerful music. So I'm hearing it for the first time tonight. So I'm looking forward to that. But I enjoyed it very much. The composer James Newton Howard wrote some very beautiful music, and I think hopefully he'll get an Oscar for it.
Well, I'm firstly honored just to be a part of such a piece, and working with these actors was an absolute gift. Liev, who's amazing, and Daniel, who's extraordinary. It was just mainly about just creating a bond, I think, and an environment that we could sort of be family inside of, which happened quite quickly. So.
Yeah, he's this kid called Asael. He's one of the Bielski brothers, a very infamous group of heroes, I think, and he's a kid who begins very much as a child and a young boy in this horrific situation. In the end, takes on a lot of responsibility, finds himself as a man, and it's been very fortunate to play this role, because it's very few come up like this. And when you have someone like Ed Zwick at the helm, who is one of the smartest men I know. One of the smartest men I've ever worked with. You just really have to be on top of your game when it comes to, your research. So that in terms of preparation, that was the hardest thing to do. The heart of the film, I think, it's about siblings, these brothers who did this very heroic thing in this incredible kind of circumstance. It was very important for me and Liev and Daniel to kind of have that very brotherly bond, and that kind of got underway immediately. Lots of kind of wrestling and kind of very gruff and tough and tumble kind of things, which is always good. And I love these 2 guys. They're fantastic actors. So for me, I really looked up to them and respected them a lot. So.
I'm very excited to be here. We shot this movie in Lithuania about a year and a half ago, and it was intense, a blast, an amazing experience all around. So it's a thrill to be here tonight and finally air it out, show the movie to the public. I mean, I still remember speaking about the children of Theresienstadt, a camp during the Holocaust, in my bar mitzvah speech. So for me, for all Jews, it's very important to tell this story, any story about the Holocaust, but this one is an amazing one in particular, so that we remember and never forget what happened. And this particular story is the story of some badass, tough Jews. There have been stories told about the Holocaust. You have amazing, incredible classic films like Schindler's List and The Pianos, small stories. But I don't feel that there has been a story about Jews who were willing to kill and steal and truly get even with Nazi sympathizers and with Nazis the way that these guys did. And this is the largest rescue of Jews by Jews during the Holocaust. 1,200 Jews were saved by this band of brothers. And it's a very unique tale that has not been told.